Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't compare it. Can't friend though.
You can't
Parenting, friending.
compare.
Can't do parenting. Co-friending. Fuck you and your hot
Comparing.
water.
Don't need comparing. Oh fuck. Here we go.
Mm.
That's where. Was that us?
I think so.
Oh, what? Shit, we're not supposed to be loud yet.
Oh.
Turn the microphone on too early.
Oh, don't mind us. We're getting
Sorry
there.
about that.
We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out.
Mute.
We're figuring it out. Oh, and we're live.
We're live.
A little bit late this evening.
And our IT guy got us on audio before already, so any other stuff you heard, just
we apologize.
Okay,
we apologize. We apologize. We're only light beings. We're not human.
We're only humans. Yeah. I got double sound going. Can you fix that, IT man?
Fucking hell, bro. Sort your shit out.
There we go.
All right.
You got it going now.
I got it working. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Finally.
Kathy,
We're good.
Sure, I hope you enjoyed that little preamble.
A little preamble. Hey, guys. Welcome back for another week of John and John.
Yes.
I was going to say live on live, but you know.
That's enough of that.
All righty. We're
All
back.
right. So, yes, intuitive.
As you can see, we're in a good mood tonight. Intuitive guidance. We prefer you to be specific. We prefer you to be descriptive. Describe how it feels. Use descriptive words for recurring life problems.
Yep.
All manner of things. Any kind of question that you like, if you can be descriptive.
Yes.
We don't
ask any question as long as it's not general.
Yeah. Other than, do I have any messages from me? Can you pick me a card from my card deck?
Yeah, I can pick you a card. Nothing's gonna fucking happen until you get everything out.
Drink that coffee, John.
Cheers.
So
yes,
how was your night, John?
It was interesting. Yes. Bit of a blind date earlier. Hello.
I hope she's watching. I do hope she's watching.
Oh, I forgot that's Teresa, my sister.
Hello, Teresa.
She does have a brother named John, but you know.
Alrighty.
These are the synchronicities that happen. So
let's get serious.
Yeah, let's get serious.
Okay, so what we do here is we help intuit your problems or your situations in life situations. So
whether it's health or whether it's repetitive, things like car crashes, you know, fucking people just piss you off all the time. People are very bossy.
People that
time.
you might get annoyed at people burping.
Yes,
things like that.
You can't handle people burping, but you want to swear your head off to your fucking daughter. It's like,
how blind was she? I don't know. Well, actually, no, I do know. I won't say that.
I don't know. I was there, so I'm guessing pretty blind. Sorry, Teresa. This is not a mistake.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, so for example, if you've got a recurring ache or what you might see as a pain in the body, if you describe it, we'd like to know if it's left or right, front or back.
Yeah.
If it's a pain sort of maybe behind the left side of my shoulder and it feels like someone's stabbing me, or those kind of things.
A lot of the time, the feeling where we get the feeling is for our intuition, for our interpretation. So we might feel something, say, on the right of our chest or the right of our solar plexus or navel chakra, but the problem actually isn't there. It originates from there. It can go actually all around the body in layers of the aura.
Yeah. So,
but we're only aware of it in that particular area. The reason being is so that we can describe it, so that we can interpret it. So even though we might feel it just here, there's this pain here, or there's this like blockage here, doesn't mean it's just there. That's there for us to understand the symbolic interpretation. So it can be there's layers of the aura. So each of the layers of the aura, the 7 chakras, relate to the 7 layers of the aura. So we might just feel it here on the first layer, but it's going around that first layer all around the body. But where we're aware of it or where we can feel it is there for our interpretation of it. So, cool.
So Kathy's posted a question: being dominated and trying to stand my ground. This is something that she struggles with. So I guess describe how you're struggling with it. Like, is it something that is annoying you?
And describe who's dominating.
Yeah, and being dominated by who?
Male, female.
You know, what situations are you not standing your ground in? Like, maybe give me a little bit more. Give us a little more information.
Is it in personal? Is it in social? Is it in business? Yeah. Which area is it in?
Yep.
And are you being dominated by male or female?
Yep.
Just a little bit more description will give us a real inroad to. So say if it's business and I'm dominated by males, you know, it's my boss is a male and I feel dominated by all these males in the workplace, or I'm dominated by all the males in my social scene or whatever.
Yeah.
So, or females or whatever. It's just like a little bit more description will help us to identify what it's supposed to be reflecting.
And you can always come on live. Like, we have the option for you to click on a Zoom link up the top and we can sort of web conference you in. You don't need to do video. You can just do audio. So you can be wearing nothing or wearing pajamas or wearing whatever.
So then when we talk back to you, when we ask you, we delve into the questions, because your description and how whatever event or situation feels to you and what it feels like is what your intuition or what your inner being is trying to guide you to tell you what the issue is.
Okay.
So the more you describe it in your words, the easier it is for us to help you.
So she's come back with a little bit more. So the father of my kids abused me physically and I left him, and now my kids, so starting to stand my ground more.
So with your kids, is it the male kids? Do you have males and female children? And is it more the male children or the female children? Because this will give us another insight. So if you can identify if you have both male and female children and it's more the male children, then we'll be able to, nail it down a bit simpler.
You're in your PJs. That's totally fine, Kathy. If you're up for a chat, just click on the Zoom link.
Click on the Zoom link
and we'll conference you in and we'll have a chat.
Don't put your video on, just put your audio on.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about if you want to put your video on with your PJs. It's no problem to us.
Hey, Charlene.
We're totally okay with any way you look. But if you want to come on, have a chat, because the more we have a chat, the more we hear your words and your description, the easier it is for us to guide you into whatever is happening symbolically in your life. So everything that happens, everything that we see, the more conscious we are, the more aware we are, the more it is that everything that happens is a reflection of the outside world, is reflecting what's going on in the inside world.
She says it's her daughter that's dominating her, not her boys.
Okay, so that's the feminine.
Feminine.
So the feminine relates a lot of the time. I mean, the feminine is also the base chakra, but it also relates to the wisdom, to the divine feminine. So it's more like the intellect's dominating. So the feminine is the intellect, it's the wisdom, it's those types of things. So the daughter's dominating you because you're not holding space in your heart quite enough, which the heart is the masculine, or represents the masculine. It's not is the masculine. It's very hard because all of these things actually blend into each other. So saying that the divine feminine, the threefold flame, represents the wisdom, the love, and the wisdom, the love is the lower three chakras, and the power is the heart chakra. And roughly that represents the masculine, the feminine, and the divine child. But when you get into the chakras, they change a little bit. So it's the feminine aspect, which is supposed to be the guidance, which is supposed to be the wisdom. Feminine aspect in Christianity is the peace dove. The masculine aspect is the lion, and inner child, the love aspect is the lamb, if you're looking at the Christianity. So the feminine side is being too pushy. So your thoughts are being too pushy on your feelings or your emotions. So your feelings, being the heart center, needs to, which is what we roughly comment as the masculine, needs to pull the daughter up, which is the feminine, to say, hey, I'm listening to your wisdom, but fucking hold on, because we need to listen to the love, which is the inner child, which is the playful center, which is the part of us that wants to sort of be playful, be, indulgent, That's the lower three chakras. And the heart chakra, the masculine, needs to direct that. It needs to have a balance between the wisdom, the power, and the love. And so the love is also the playfulness. It's also the, what do we call that? What's the other word we use for the
self-expression or sensual or romantic or
all of those things
all
are in
those
the lower
things
three
are in your lower
chakras.
three chakras.
If they don't have enough expression and we have too much wisdom, which is the intellect, if we have too much power, which is the heart, which is the one that fucking does the male that does all the discipline and stuff like that. If we have too much of any one of these three things, the other ones get rejected and they don't express themselves enough. So the daughter, the feminine, basically your mental, your wisdom is pushing too hard on your feelings and your emotions. So really feels like you need to let your playful emotions express themselves a lot more. Then once you do that and you give yourself permission to do that, your daughter won't be able to do what she's doing and the ex won't be able to do what they're doing. They're like, I'm going to go and fucking swim in the beach. I'm going to go and jump on a trampoline. I'm going to go and play tennis, whatever it is. If you just do that and you say, fuck you, for lack of a better expression, it's like you'll find once you give yourself permission to do that, that won't push on you as much. That's why they're pushing on you, because you're not giving your playful self, your inner child, as we call it. John tunes into the inner child a lot and he feels that. So I don't know if you want to tune into that now and see if the inner child has a particular expression. She might be sitting there going, fuck you.
She's got her hands over her eyes. She's sitting there like this right now. Kathy's also said that she stays single for 16 years because she's scared to attract another abuser.
Yeah. So the abuser comes, like everything has an opposite. So there can't be a victim without a perpetrator and vice versa. So if there's a perpetrator, there has to be a victim. If there's a victim, there has to be a perpetrator. So what was the word she used?
I'm scared. I'm scared to attract another abuser.
Abuser. That's the word you're using. So to have an abuser, you have to be the abused, right? So you have to be a victim. So it's like, get out of your victimness. Get out of that. It's like all of us have an inner child. All of us have an inner lion or an inner tiger or fucking, the fierceness in us. Yep. And we all have the inner wisdom. So we have a 3-part system. We call it the threefold system. So we can call it thoughts, words, and actions, mind, body, soul, whatever you want to call it. There's a 3-part system. And so the inner child is there, that is the one that can get abused. It's the innocence. But what happens is we normally cut that out and block that out. So then we get into, say, the wisdom and the power, which is the upper 2 sections. But without the innocence to come back there, that doesn't work well at all. It's like it's a 3-part system. It's mother, father, child, if you want to call it that. Thoughts, words, and actions, mind, body, soul. There's this 3-part system. So the innocence has to be there, but the heart, which is the power, which is the courage, needs to be there to protect the innocence. So allow yourself to be playful, allow yourself to go and do whatever you want to do and dance around and whatever, with the heart there going, if they come and try and fucking step on my toes, I'll fucking bite their head off, And it's like, the habit for most people is that innocence gets abused and then we cut it off and we class that as bad, whether we're a 5-year-old or whether we're a 30-year-old. Doesn't really matter. We can't class that as bad because we let our innocence out, and it's very vulnerable. It's very fucking scary at first, and it's like, but as an adult, when we're a child and we let our innocence out, our parents, who we think are gods and who we think are these great people because they're these big, tall, fucking huge beings, we think they're never going to lie to us or whatever. We speak our truth from our innocence and they fucking cut us down, and then we think that that's wrong because 5-year-old fucking nails an adult with their awareness, and the adult's ego jumps in and goes, "Oh, you're fucking wrong. Shut it up." And it's like, this is what we call the return of the innocence. This is every spiritual tradition. Everything has, born again, return of the innocence. All of these things, allowing the inner child, allowing that innocence part to come out, but it comes out with the heart, with this power and this courage. I am the father and I will fucking protect my innocence, and I will let it express itself. If somebody tries to pull my children up for having too much fun, I'll fucking bite the head off.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, it has that, it's a very tough situation to feel when you first, John might be able to express it more because he went for it a day or two ago.
Yeah, it is. It's very weird. Mine came out, and at first it was, I don't know. It was a little scary. Like I felt jittery when my innocence started to return. I kind of had a feeling of being really strange and alien in my body. Being, the best I could describe it was a feeling of openness and vulnerable. And it didn't quite make sense because it deep down, like it felt perfectly okay. But because I hadn't really felt that since I was a little kid, it was real strange, The intellect was just running around, the ego's just trying to go, no, something's really wrong here, and I'm kind of going, no, I get you, but I kind of feel like this is how I should have always felt,
Yeah.
And so that for me has just started to express itself again, after
the feeling of the innocence. So when we have we call it the threefold flame, which is the wisdom, the power, and the love. The love is the lower three chakras, the power is the heart chakra, and the wisdom is the upper three chakras. So when these three powers in us, these three awarenesses in us, one body, soul, thoughts, words, and actions, Father, Mother, Holy Ghost, every religion has a three-part system, So when these three combine in the heart of hearts, the innocence part, the vulnerability part comes up, and to feel completely vulnerable and completely invulnerable at the same time, it's really weird. It's like the feeling sensation that you get, like you feel completely vulnerable, like your heart's on the outside. This is why Christianity puts a picture of Christ with the heart outside the body. But you feel completely invulnerable and fully like undefeatable at the same time. So it's like, it's a very weird sensation when it first starts to happen. So it's like allowing your vulnerability to come up, but allowing your adult self to have that strength and that power to protect your vulnerability. It's like allowing your kids to run around in a doctor's surgery and scream at other people.
Yeah. And also, I mean, try to look at it as well, Kathy, from the point of view that, you're a very different version of yourself right now, and the version of you that you were back, 16 years ago, probably didn't really know or have the tools or have a little bit of the wisdom to know how to deal with that back then. And so, looking at it now, when you maybe, start just by giving yourself permission to start to be vulnerable, know in yourself that you're starting from this point forward, and you're not, you're not going to tell yourself, I'm not going to repeat those, those patterns again, because that was a really old version of me, and I've grown in my wisdom and in my strength and in my courage. And so from this point forward, I'll give myself permission to open up and to be vulnerable. Now, it's not going to happen like that, so you just keep working with that. And if you're unsure of how to do that or what that even means or looks like, then you just ask Spirit, okay, I really, really would like to open up and start to express my vulnerability a bit more. Please show me how. Give me a sign, or just show me how, and just accept, the energy and the messages that come through, and then just start to work with it bit by bit.
Yeah. So the vulnerability, the innocence has to come out with the invulnerability or the unlimited, infinite self. So, and that's where it gets really, it feels at first. So they call it, in most traditions, they'll call it the return of the innocence or born again, or whatever. This is why these references come up to, in every spiritual tradition, I call it a return of the innocent, born again Christian. Now, a born again Christian allows their innocence to come out, but their masculine or their powerful adult self is there to protect it and let it play, So when my kids were young, if they'd play up, or what other people classes play up, if they get a bit loud in public and that, and somebody would come up and try and fucking say, hey, your kids are playing up, I would bite their head off and go, hey, I'll fucking let my kids play up. And they're not out of control, but they're just being kids and they're being loud. So, and this is what we do to ourselves. It's that masculine, that power that we have allows our inner child to come out and express itself without letting wowzers try and cut it down. So,
and you know, I had a similar problem up until, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I got 3 daughters, you know, a 15, 13, and 5-year-old, and I had a similar thing where they're all girls, and I felt as though they were, you know, pushing me around, or perhaps I wasn't really expressing the masculine in the heart, or you know, the lion in the heart. You know, and I was doing that because I was looking at my past and judging myself, you know, for how, you know, I maybe done it wrong in the past, and then going, okay, well, you know, I don't really know how to do it in the future. So I don't really know how to do it.
Just in case I forget, I have the lamb and the lion and the peace stuff tatted on my arm, just in case I have this absent-mindedness. So this is the threefold system. In the Christianity, they call it the peace dove, the lion, and the lamb. You know, so there's a 3-part system to us, which is mind, body, soul, thoughts, words, and actions. This is why, so the innocence is the soul, you know, the seat of the soul is the lower 3 chakras. The lion is the heart chakra. The peace dove, which is the wisdom, which is the feminine, which is sees the big picture, is the upper 3 chakras. So these 3 need to blend together. So the wisdom, which guides us and tells us where to go. The lion, the strength that we have, which is in the heart, which makes us our own authority. And then the innocence, which is the loving, playful self, you know, child, if you want to call it that. Those 3 need to blend together, and it takes a bit of effort. It takes a bit of work to get to that.
Yeah.
So, so we had a one up here, Kathy.
That's who we've been talking to.
Oh no, one above that.
Where are we? This one here, Kathy Patterson.
No, the foot arch one.
Where are we?
We're gonna on Cat.
Yeah,
Cat.
The arch of my foot, the arch of my right foot is very sore.
So Cat Gray, the arch of your right foot. So generally speaking, we're going into meridians and stuff now. So the stomach and spleen meridian, we have 5 major meridians in the body. We've got the liver, gallbladder, the stomach, spleen, which is the one that seems to be that you're dealing with right now. So the stomach spleen meridian, that's the earth element. It holds everything up. It's like the river walls that hold, the river walls stay up which is the earth, the river walls. So if the river walls or the earth gets too soft or too weak, the walls break down and the river spreads out and goes all across the land. So holding things up, your right foot is generally about your physical direction. So the right foot arch being very sore, this is a thing about overthinking or worrying too much. So you're overthinking or worrying too much, or what they call in Chinese medicine ruminating, which is thinking about the same thing over and over and over and over again about your physical direction. So you might want to be doing, say, change your job, change your house, change your sporting choices, something on the physical, or change the way you're dealing with males. There's something on the right foot arch. So the right foot arch, when it's sore, it's not holding up. So the holding up energy is the fact that the stomach spleen, which is the earth element, is being drained. So you're thinking or worrying too much about what you need to do in your physical material direction. So it might be changing jobs. It might be just something simple like choosing a sport to do. It might be anything on the physical material side of life. So you're worrying about it, you're overthinking about it, and it weakens those muscles in the right arch on the foot. So it's just like, okay, just tell yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm scared as fuck, but I'm going to do it. And it's like, just go, yep, okay, I know I need to do this. I know I need to tell these people, whether it's talking to the males or whether it's, you know, deciding in yourself that you're going to start doing some exercise, or you're going to start doing some looking for a new job or something like that. It's something on the physical, your physical material direction where you're going in life. So your foot is the lowest part, is the bottom part of your physical direction. And the thing is worrying about it. So it's kind of like, you know what to do, but you keep questioning yourself and you keep doubting what you know what to do. So you just got to tell yourself, okay, yeah, I'm shit scared, but I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to start going in that direction.
Margaret's asking if that's the same for the right big toe. I guess it's a pain under there.
Not as much, no. The right big toe is more the liver meridian. So the right big toe, the liver and gallbladder are the yin and yang of each other. So liver, gallbladder, the liver is the general. It's the director. So it's supposed to be, so if you're looking at an army, it's the general. So it's the boss. Or if you're looking at, say, a society, it's the president or the prime minister. And it's supposed to direct the chi, which goes around the body. So liver and gallbladder are the yin and yang of each other. So the right big toe is the liver. So you're not choosing enough authority in your direction where you need to go. You need to be the authority in your life and say, hey, and this is on the physical side, the material side, or the masculine side. So it's either a male or it's about saying, hey, I'm going to fucking change my job. I'm going to change my house. Or, you know, husband, I love you, but go and get fucked because I'm going to do what I need to do.
Husband, go sit down and relax.
Sit down and relax. I'm doing my way. You do your thing. I do my thing. So it's either masculine or physical or material. And it's about directing your life. And because right down in the big toe, it's really right at the end point of the application of choosing to go in the direction you want to go. Whether it's something to do personal with like exercise, or whether it's something to do with business, or whether it's something to do with, you know, diet. It's a real physical thing if it's on the right side. So whereas the left side's more internal, it's more about your attitude, it's more about your passion and your feelings and your intuition. The right side is much more physical, external.
Okay. Rachel's asking about insomnia. What could be caused?
So yeah, right. Look, insomnia it's a massive. It's a massive field, and it's just not something I would touch on in the 10-minute. There is literally so many things. There's like, the main thing is overthinking. Like
ruminating. It's our new word. Ruminating.
Overthinking is going to cause a problem with insomnia, but things like digital, like too much TV or too much phone,
electromagnetic
can be electromagnetic fields. It can be diet. A lot of the time, it is just not being on the right path. But it's one of those things where we would have to spend half an hour talking to you, finding and guiding you to that field. There is just literally so many things that can cause that. But generally speaking, it is always about, you know, worrying about not heading in the right direction for your life.
Not necessarily stress, I don't think, though, is it? It can.
Well, it translates to stress. So worrying about, like, where am I going? Where should I go? I should go over here. I should go over there. That translates to stress. That's like ruminating and worrying and all the rest of it. So it's a real compound thing. It's like a domino effect, you know, that insomnia has like a dozen or 24 different origin points. But it's something you really got to, there's no
work through.
There's so many different origins of that it's just too hard to give a general intuitive advice to. All right. So if anyone wants to come on live, we can still come on live. The links are at the top there. And if, like, say with the insomnia one, if we talk to you and we ask you just a few questions here, it's very playful. It's very fun, a little bit confronting, but it's still playful and fun. It's not, and you can come on audio or video, and that way we can really, just listening to your feedback, listening to what you say, we can really get to the pinpoint, to the core of what's causing it quite often.
She did say that she lives across from a power station, so she's wondering if it is EMF. It could be.
It could be. You can get EMF apps on your phone to check that out, so that like it's not a big deal anymore. So just go and get EMF apps and check it out, and it'll tell you
if the levels are
very quickly if the levels are too high. Like having your mobile phone or having an alarm clock like too close to your bed. Like I say to people, instead of putting it on your side table, put it up on if you put it up on the sort of the tall boy or whatever, it's not a problem. But when it's within less than half a meter of your head, that can cause a big problem. You know, if your electrical system in your house is not grounded and earthed out properly, that can cause a big problem. But we have free EMF apps these days that you can check all that out very easily. So it's
probably a good place to start.
But it's a good place to start. It's, you know, and breathing, meditation, you know, even if there is all those other problems, if you do some just basic breathing work when you go to bed, turn your fucking digital stuff off half an hour before you go to bed, and just sit there, and that will sort that stuff out very quickly.
I think there was another. Yeah, that was the same, Rachel. Yeah, cool. All right. What else? What do we got? I'm just going back up through because we had a few people comment while we were chatting with Kathy, just to see if we're still there. So what else is new, John? Here we go. Megan Nicole. How do you clear negative energies attached to you when you get home? There's a good one. I knew there was a good one up there. They're like, scroll back up. I'm like, all right, wait.
So negative energies, we can deal with entities, we can deal with all sorts of things, and there's just so many ways to deal with this. But the simplest way, and the way we've been practicing more the last week or so, is just to center yourself. Yeah. One heart on your chest.
One heart on your chest. Yeah, one heart on your chest. That's perfect.
Heart on the outside of your chest.
I like it.
Put one hand on your chest and one hand on your navel.
Yeah.
And just breathe in deeply and sit and ground yourself and center yourself. And so all the other negative entities, all the other things, they're just all man-made. They're all thought forms. They're not of the divine. They're not of the oneness. So the simplest way you can do this, and you can clear all of them. It's very simple. And it's very difficult at the same time. So I don't want to oversimplify it because on a courage level, it takes a fucking shitload of courage. Yeah. But the technique is very simple. It's like, if it's not true of God, then it's not true of me. Every negative energy, every negative entity, every lack-based system, every fear, everything that's below is created by man. It's created by us. It's created, it's real, but we created it. So it has no real power over the divine. So if you can get to the point where you say, hey, if it's not true of God, then it's not true of me, and fuck off in a sense, then you can just clear it automatically, right? So generally I say, if you breathe, if you ground yourself, that's the easiest way to do it. You know, I have lots of other techniques to clear negative energies and negative entities, but they take a little bit of practice. They're like, you know, I've got to train you to, it's like training you to play a song on a guitar, you know. There's lots of other techniques, but the simplest technique is to just speak to yourself, speak to the heart, and say, if it's not true of God, then it's not true of me. God or the universe or infinite intelligence or oneness does not create negativity. Only man does that. Only us when we separate ourselves from oneness creates that. So it has no real power. It's power because we've given it power.
Yeah,
like if we plug into
that's right. You know, and it has power over you if you think it has power over you. You know, this is really similar, Natasha, to the question you're asking as well. You know, what are your thoughts on people directing negative spell work or ill intent at you, and how to protect yourself from it? It's a very similar, if not exactly the same response, right?
So anything negative, anything is not created by oneness. Is not created by, if you want to call it God, if you want to call it creation, if you want to call it the creator. I like calling it the Force myself, but I'm a bit of a Star Wars freak. You know? It's like, right, you are.
The Force it is.
So if you can get into that oneness, if you can hold yourself in the center and say, if it's not true of God, then it's not true of me. Or if it's not true of the creator, then it's not true of me. And just breathe in and go, everything else. And the ones that stick to us the most relate to our own beliefs, the beliefs that we've done something wrong or that we've made a mistake. And even if we have, it doesn't really matter. It's like the universe doesn't, you know, you got to look at like the creator is like the parent and you are the child. The Christ consciousness, you know, I and the Father are one, you know, so I don't have to judge. I don't have to decide. I just align with the Father's law, and therefore he makes the decision. So by holding that space and going, you know, maybe I've got to fucking repent for my sins or whatever. But if I do, the universe will decide that and create that. So if you can really get to that space, and it's as simple, it's really, really simple like that, but it's really, really fucking scary and hard, because you've got to let go of everything you thought you knew. You've got to let go of being commander in chief of the whole universe. You know? It's like you've got to let go of the decision of what's right and wrong.
And a good place to start is to just start. To just start doing it. You know, don't feel as though you know the way it's been described, it's overwhelming. You know, if you're not doing it today, then just begin and start doing it. You know, when you're in a good space, start doing it. Just keep doing it a bit more and a bit more. And as you get into those other spaces where you feel maybe that there is something there, you know, then the more you've practiced it, the more you can practice just breathing in, dropping down into the heart, dropping down into the navel, and just letting go more and more, letting go, and just say, show me how to release it, show me how to let go, show me how to surrender. Just keep doing it. You know, you keep doing your practice.
So Kathy Patterson, I think, was it Patterson? Yeah. That one there? She just asked, does surrounding ourselves with white light protect you? Well, with every single technique, with everything there is, we call it medicine or poison, right? So if you pray, it can be medicine or it can be poison. So if you're praying from a lack mentality, from not good enough, or bless me, Father, because I have sinned, and it's like, you know, instead of bless me, Father, I have sinned, clear that out from me. It's like, it's the same prayer. But if you're coming from the positive, from a oneness perspective, then it's medicine.
Yeah.
So if you surround yourself with white light because you see yourself as weak or you see yourself as vulnerable, then it's a negative thing. It's really
it's what we call poison.
It's poison, you know. But if you protect yourself with white light because you're expanding yourself and you're projecting your light out so nothing can touch you, then it's positive. It's medicine. So this is, most people look at all these things, every single spiritual practice, every single belief. It's not the belief, it's not the practice, it's where it's coming from. Are you doing it to make yourself more expansive, more positive, or are you doing it because you're a piss poor weakling, vulnerable little piece of shit? It's like, that's what makes it medicine.
That's a way of describing it.
That's the fucking
that's the uncut.
That's the uncut in your face version of it. It's like, I'm a piss poor weak. You know, we're all children of God. We're all infinite beings.
Yeah, that's right. As Kathy says, the vibration of the words feel very different. Absolutely, yes, exactly. They do.
And that's how you know.
That's how you know. It's what we call, if it's light, it's right.
This is the number one tool. If it's light, do you feel more expanded? Yeah. Does it make you feel lighter? So it's like, okay, put more white light around me, expand me so I can destroy these motherfucking assholes. Or put more white light around me, expand me so I don't get hurt by these people. Like, it's the same words, but it's a very different feeling.
Yeah.
And so every single thing, this is one of our tools, everything is medicine or poison. So depending on where you're doing it from, so, you know, putting white light around yourself, if you're doing it as a victim, then it's poison. If you're doing it to magnify and go, I am powerful and I can magnify my light, I'm like the sun and I'm just going to turn up my vibration, then it's medicine. It magnifies.
Yeah.
Same words, very different feeling.
Yeah. Kathy's also asked how we cleanse and balance the chakras.
Again, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Ask them to be cleansed. Ask them to be balanced. We go in, we come into the observer space, we look at ourselves from above, and we go, okay, what is that? That doesn't feel light. It doesn't feel flowing and easy. So just ask, show me how to clear this. Show me what I need to let go of. Is there something I need to forgive? Is there something I need to let go of? Just ask the question. First of all, the primary part is to just focus, to close our eyes and go, what doesn't feel natural? What doesn't feel easy or light? Oh, that feels like there's a bit of tension around here. Okay, so show me universe, whatever you want to call it, you know, show me God, show me universe, show me oneness. What do I need to do to clear this? And by asking the question, it starts to happen automatically. Don't try and work out the answer. As soon as you ask, or before you ask the question, actually, because before the question can form in words in your head, the answer already comes through. And this is where most people mistake the intuition. They go, so tell me what I need to do. And then after they hear the word do, they're listening. And it's like, well, we told you what the word tell. And so we think we don't get the information. We think we don't get the answer, because the answer and the question both come through simultaneously. but because our brain has to turn it into a sentence or words, like, and then we listen at the end, tell me what I need to do, and then after the word do, we're listening, going, I didn't hear nothing.
I didn't hear nothing.
It's like, I heard the answer before I said the word tell. It's like, so the answer and the question both come through energetically at the same time. So just by asking, just by balancing, just get yourself in the center. And it's like, just that knowing that the answer is there immediately is the primary part of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to interpret it. And you can say to yourself, okay, thank you for that answer, even though I've got no fucking idea of what you just said.
Yeah. But just know that energetically you received it.
You received the answer.
You know what I do sometimes is I talk to my body a lot, and I say, okay, body, show me where my heart chakra is, and I sort of get a feeling or an energy sort of feeling where it is. And then I say, okay, what does my heart chakra feel like? And then I can sort of get, a feeling, because it's very much a feeling based thing. It's not a thought based thing. You can't think can't think what it thinks like, what it feels like. So you're really working through the feelings in the body.
Yeah.
And just do that with all your chakras, do that a couple of times. And,
so this
you
one
really start to notice.
You can just put your hand in front of each chakra and go, does that feel lighter? Does that feel more out the front and out the back? Is it balanced? I often teach people the balance point is just simply use the physical as much as you can. Put that there. Does it feel balanced there? Does it feel balanced there? Oh no, that one feels a bit more over this side. This one feels a bit more over this side. This one feels a bit more over there.
Oh, Kathy Lada.
And just,
I love your comment.
Just use your physical. If you haven't got as much sensation on the pure energy of things, the physical represents it. Are you leaning forward? Are you leaning backwards? What's your posture? Listen to your tone of voice. I'm really fucking happy. I'm so fucking happy. It's like, there's John's little one the other day.
Fuck off, you cunt. Let me read out Kathy's comment. I drank a few too many vodkas as medicine at a friend's birthday party last night. I feel like poison this morning.
Is that yours or is that the other person's?
That's funny.
Is that you or the other person?
That made me laugh.
You drank too many vodkas, you feel like poison this morning. Is that because you picked up everyone else's emotions?
Probably.
So ask yourself, is that
my poison?
Is that my fucking negativity? Or is that my feeling like I hate my life? Or is that somebody else's? And when you ask that question, you say, so is that feeling shit today? Is that about me? And so when you say, is it about me? If it's a yes, it'll feel more shit. If it's a no, it'll feel less shit. So it's like, that's what we say, if it's light, it's right. If it's heavy, it's low. So is that my feeling shit? So when you say that question, you'll feel less shit or you'll feel more shit. Just a little bit. Just like, so if you were the number of feeling shit, I feel shit, I'm at number 8 feeling shit. And then you go, is that my shit or is that my shit? If it's not yours, it'll go up to a 9. If it is yours, it'll go down to a 6. And so this is like the heavier, if it gets more intense or less intense, it'll tell you if it's yours or not. So a lot of the times when we go to these parties and we have a few vodkas, we pick up everyone else's shit. And then we go, oh, I feel really fucked. And that's because you're an empath and you've taken on everyone else's crap. And you can just do it and go, hey, that's not my fucking shit. Return to sender. Or get away or fuck off or good luck with that.
Here's one. Patricia, ongoing depression and thoughts of being less than, but this is the question that I like. At 71, can I be what I was meant to be? Feel the need for deep inner healing.
So at 71, it's so much fucking easier to be what you're meant to be. The older you are, the easier it is. Patricia, it's when you're meant to be what you're meant to be, right? Because all the stuff that you've been wanting to do for so long, you don't have any of the fucking, the ego blockages that most people have when they're younger. So it is so, I remember the first time when I was doing a lot of this stuff and I went to this energy healing seminar and this guy was there and we're teaching unconditional love and energy healing. And I was like 28. This guy was 97 years old, right? It was literally 97. I was just like, I didn't even know people could even walk at that age.
You're a fucking.
And he goes, I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just decided to learn something.
I'm just walking, John.
I just decided to learn something new. I said, how old are you? He goes, 97. I'm like, you're learning this new technique. He goes, yeah, because, I'm not going to stop learning until I die, right? So, but he goes, this is that's why I couldn't believe he was 97. He in my reality, nobody even lives that old that looked as youthful as he looked. But because the fact that he was constantly learning something new, that it was like, I'm just going to, he goes, this is the first time. He actually questioned me because I was doing the energy healing. He goes, unconditional love, what is that? That's not real. Like, how the fuck are you 97-year-olds if you don't believe that's real? And it's like, and I explained to him, unconditional love is just like the emotional love, but it's a little bit different. And he's like, and then he explained to me that, he always pushed himself to learn more. This is what keeps us young. The mind starts to die as soon as it thinks it knows everything. So yes, learning something new at 71 is the perfect time to do it because you don't have, to learn these healing techniques, to learn these, it's so much easier when you're 71 because you can go and talk to somebody. They might have been learning it for 20 years and you've been learning it for 2. And you can go and slam those shit, those little shits, because you have no personal need to fucking prove yourself. So, you just slap them around the head, like energetically, and go fucking, just wake up to yourself. It's like, so it's the perfect time. 77 or 71 or whatever. It's the perfect time to learn this for the first place because you don't have to work through, like when I started teaching with John with this, I was very happy that it was in his 40s because I didn't have to get past all that ego shit of needing to prove yourself. And, what do you call it? Your fucking reputation.
Reputation, yeah.
When you're fucking young, you've got a reputation, you've got something to prove. So if you're much older, you can really learn this stuff really fast and really easy because you're not trying to prove anything. Yeah. So it's the perfect time to do it. And don't judge the length of time because all of your life experience adds on to what you're learning. So somebody else might have been, like myself, might have been learning it for 20 years, but you can apply it just as good when you've been learning it for 2 months as somebody who's learned it for 20 years because you don't have all of that fucking ego to work through.
All the bullshit.
You're not trying to prove yourself. You're not trying to fucking become Prime Minister of the world.
Commander-in-Chief of the universe.
I resign as Commander-in-Chief of the whole entire universe.
I hang up my cape. Drop the mic.
Turn the camera around and show them my cape on the wall. My Superman cape is encased in bulletproof glass.
Maybe another night.
Yeah. It's like when you're young, it's like, it doesn't matter how good you get the techniques. Yeah. You got a lot of ego involved. Yeah. You're not able to apply it as well, because you're trying to fucking make it to bolster who you think you are. So the older you are, the less you've got that. So the easier it is to grab these techniques and use them really fast. Yeah. Cool. All right, what do we got?
What are our thoughts on numbers, signs?
Numbers, signs. Look, synchronicity is the main objective of the universe. So if you're getting regular, like multiple numbers that are not specific, like if you're getting 77, like I think it's 77, 777, 444, if you're getting different numbers that are just like, that are doubles or triples or whatever, it's just generally speaking, the universe is trying to tell you that you're on the right track and it's trying to show that synchronicity exists. This is us learning that the universe is guiding us and there is a synchronicity to the universe. If it's the other way around, where it's specifically you get 111 or 777 all the time, then you need to look at numerology. Yeah. And one of my favorites is the Dan Millman. There's different forms of numerology, and whichever one you're drawn to, look at that. So, there's probably about 4 or 5 main numerologies that I know that I've studied over the last 20 years. I stick to the Dan Millman one, and so whatever one you're drawn to is the one that's going to reflect to you. So the set, like for 8s in Dan Millman, it's about power and abundance. For 8s in other ones, it's about something else. Whatever one you're drawn to is the one that's going to reflect to you. So don't get too caught up in it. If it feels right and it feels easy, look at those numerologies. But if you're looking at synchronicity of numbers, you're getting doubles and triples of all different numbers. Yeah. Do not worry about what the numbers mean. It's just the universe trying to tell you you're on the right track. You're in alignment with.
I mean, I was getting
synchronicity.
22s and 222s and 22222 for quite a while until I realized that there was something in that,
Yeah.
And a lot of that was twin flame related.
Yeah.
Right?
So, as I said, if it's the same numbers over and over again, double twos, triple twos, but if you're getting doubles and triples of all different numbers and all different, but they're just lining up, that's just generally just keep it general. Don't read into it too much. Just take it as a confirmation from the universe that you're in synchronicity with where you're supposed to be going.
Yep.
Cool. What else?
What else? I don't think there's anything else really. Lots of thank yous, lots of comments back to other people. We don't really do any advice for my work or my job. Sorry, Naomi.
Yeah, we do. We do, but only if you speak.
Only if you give us more information.
More information. So because it's always a reflection of. So the inner world. The simple way to describe it is, in every spiritual tradition, every spiritual teaching, they say, "As above, so below; as within, so without." So your body inside of you. Your body's inside of you, so your spirit reaches out to whatever degree you want to see it as. And so your body is inside you, but also that's a reflection of the universe. So the whole universe. So when you look inside, when you do meditation and you look inside your meridians and your chakras, and you genuinely take a good look inside, it is so fucking vast inside of yourself. It's like the TARDIS. Anyone who's into Doctor Who, which is he's not, but I like sci-fi. So, it's like the TARDIS is like this big, but on the inside it's so much bigger. Our body is the same. So inside of ourselves is a reflection of the outside. So when we've got issues about things that are not working in our life, the way we can fix it the fastest is work on it with inside. So if we've got relationship issues, we are conflicting with all the people, then we need to look at our navel chakra. That's our one-on-one, chakra. If we've got a problem with groups, with society, with our whole family, or with the government or something else, we need to look at the base chakra. If we've got a problem with ourself, with our one-on-one relationship, that's our solar plexus. We're judging ourselves. If we've got, so we need to, then if you fix it on the inside, the reflection on the outside fixes itself, and it's the fastest way to fix it. And if you can do that, and this is what our whole whole show's about, right? Yep. So to identify that and choose to fix it very fast, you can change your body shape. You can do, if you want to go and do gym work and stuff like that, you can do it from what we call the bottom up or the top down. Mm-hmm. So if you do it from the top down, you look at the symbolic representation and you change that, and then the material will change very quickly. Mm. But if you can't identify it, you can do it from the bottom up. You can go and do plastic surgery or fucking weight training or whatever you want to do, and start doing that. Instead of taking 6 days, it'll take 6 months. But there's no right or wrong. It's just easier to do it from the top down. So if we look at this is everything we're teaching. So we see what the symbolic is and we agree to work with it and change it, then the physical will change very quickly. But if we can't see that, then fine, just go and do the physical work. If you need to go to the gym, if you need to go to plastic surgery, whatever it is, change it, but work with the attitude that it changes you. If you want fucking thicker lips, start speaking and expressing your emotions and feelings better, If you want higher cheekbones, start being more happy, It's like, because otherwise if you get the plastic surgery, and there's no problem with that, but if you get it and you don't change your attitude and you don't change your feelings with it, then it'll revert. If you get breast implants and you don't start speaking your own truth and being your own person, then you'll start walking around and closing your shoulders over and trying to collapse it back in again. So there's no right or wrong way. Either way, we just find that it's easier, faster, and a lot fucking cheaper if you do it from the top down. You don't have to go to 6 hours a day in the gym. You don't have to go and spend $10,000 in plastic surgery. You can do it by changing your attitude.
Yeah, Kathy's like, so top down, you mean talking to your body?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So talking to your body, talking to your spirit, asking what the message is. What are you trying to tell me? If I notice in my ears, like when I was young, my ears used to stick out way like this. And it's like, and I used to hate that. And it's like, for a stage, when I was like a teenager, I want to get my ears pinned back. And it's like, But if I looked at it, I was like, because I was adopted and I had so many people keeping secrets from me, why are my ears sticking out? Because I'm walking around going, fucking, what are they saying about me? What are they fucking saying? What are they saying? You know, it's like I was listening over
and we laugh, but it really is that simple. It's like it's that fucking simple.
If your lips are thin, you know, this is one of the ones I did at first, and I have, you know, when Botox first came out, I have copped so much shit over the last 15 years about this because I've spoken to chicks who have done it, and they just take it that I'm trying to like say they've done the wrong thing or whatever. But if you go like this and you make your lips thin, what the fuck are you doing, motherfucker? It's like, whereas if your lips go thick, right? Try and say, make your lips, like pout your lips out and try and say what the fuck, you can't do it. You got to fucking tense your lips up to say, what are you doing, motherfucker? Like, you're a fucking idiot, right? You got to look at my lip when I say, you're a fucking idiot, right? When I say, I don't give a fuck what you do. Look at how it thickens up automatically, right? And so if this is your general attitude for 5 or 10 years, of course your lips are going to get thicker. Of course your cheekbones are going to get bigger, press, whatever it is, you know. This is about attitude. This is one of the courses that I've been fucking shit scared of doing for the last 20 years. Because every time I try and do it with someone, it's like fucking going into a fucking battle. Like, war zone. It's a war zone because I'm dealing with fucking plastic surgeons and everything else. And it's not as easy. Like, you can go and get plastic surgery and thicken my lips up, get Botox. Yeah. But if I want to change my attitude, change the way I speak and change the way I think, then I'm going to have to do that constantly every day for 6 months, right? I'm not going to be able to go and fucking, you know,
it takes a lot of courage, right?
So,
an awful lot of courage.
You know, it's just that our body, our life is a representation of what's going on inside. So it's pretty simple like that. It's pretty simple and scary.
Pretty simple.
Very fucking simple and scary as shit. Simple. It's like, you know, you want to piss everyone off.
But yeah, you know, so the general process is, you know, if you notice something and you're unsure, you know, you can just say, you know, is there a message in that? You know, and if it's light, it's right. That's tool number 1. Check out our YouTube channel for the tools. You know, we've got some basic tools on there. And, you know, if there's a message in there, okay, cool. If you're not sure what it is, just thank the body for the message and ask spirit to give you a sign. Yeah.
And if you're drawn to it, if your lips are bugging you because they're too thin, if you want bigger cheekbones and that's the message that your body's trying to tell you. It's like, you know, why do I want bigger cheekbones? What do cheekbones represent? I'm fucking happy, you know. What are thicker lips? I don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever I want, you know. You know, it's like it's a message that the body's trying to tell you, and please, it is not to denigrate fucking plastic surgery. If you can do it that way, and you want to, you know, I've fucking not shaved them, but I've pruned my eyebrows. I pruned my eyebrows because they were too thick, you know. And then I went with the attitude of that and started balancing into that. And it's not like you shouldn't do the physical into the spiritual. It's just that if, you know, on a surgery level, it's probably better to do it the other way, you know. But neither way really matters. Sometimes it's hard to work out what the attitude problem is before you work out what the physical problem is. So anyway, if you want to check out
I just posted some links to our YouTube channels, Kathy asked. So if there's a few more of you that are interested, get on there and have a look.
If you want personal readings, go onto our Bequest Wellbeing page. Yep. We can do personal readings and stuff, and we can really work through a lot of this stuff in an hour or whatever. It's $250 for a reading for the two of us for 1 hour, and you can work through.
So we call it 2-on-1.
The 2-on-1 readings. It's quite fun like this. Check out
we're pretty casual.
Check out the other videos we've got on our Facebook, and you'll see what
and on YouTube as well. Yeah, we've got some client sessions that we got permission to record and to share, so you can get an idea of the kinds of things and how they work and how they flow, how much fun they can be. Yeah. How much shit we can uncover.
Yeah. So we play. It's like, you know, yes, it's confronting, but it's playful. Yeah. So, you know, it's like
nothing but.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks very much. Enjoy.
See you next week.